Now, if you're sending clients your proposal, you're getting leads, you're getting inquiries, you're sending proposal after proposal, and you're not getting any actual bookings, this video is for you. I'm going to be sharing some of the things that you can do to really level up your proposal experience so that clients will read that and increase your conversion rate. They'll be so excited to work with you after reading your proposal. Hi, I'm Jody Ann Rowe, founder of the Event Certificate, and I work with event pros and service-based business owners who are struggling to get leads, struggling to get inquiries. Don't struggle on your own. Definitely reach out to me, www.eventcertificate.com. Now, before I dive into these tips, I just want to say I want you to do something for your business that can help you in the long term. Hit that subscribe button so that you can see more videos like this week after week to help you with marketing and getting clients in. Because at the end of the day, you're running a business and ultimately you want to increase your revenue. Now, here are the 4 tips that I want to share with you that honestly, if implemented well, I guarantee that you will see a change in the amount of clients that book you after receiving a proposal. Now, don't get me wrong, there are some clients where it's not your proposal that's stopping them from booking, and for those ones, we don't have a magic pill. But at least here I can provide you with enough steps and guidance to know that when you're finished sending that proposal, when you hit that send button, that you've done everything in your power to convert that lead. Otherwise, everything else is in the hands of the Lord. So the first tip that I want to share is that you need to actually focus on the client and not yourself. Yes, I often get asked, okay, that makes no sense, Jody, because this is about me and my business and the service I provide. And yes, it is. It really is. But here's the thing though. If you're out here and you're trying to book clients, you need to focus on how you can serve that client, not just on you and your business. Now, one big example that I like to share about this is people, when they do like that welcome introduction page in their proposal, often when I read this, I am so disappointed in some of you. Here's the reason why. You write this beautiful 1 to 2 page summary, and all it's talking about is you, your business, when you got started, how many years you've been in business, you started planning events after you planned your own wedding, you fell in love with wedding plan, and it goes on and on and on. And now I'm like past 1 page, I'm on to the 2nd page, and I haven't read one thing that tells me how you're actually going to be working with me as a client. Now, this is where you start to lose people, because this information, it's good information. It's about your business and your history, but it has nothing to do with this client's event. And the point of the proposal is to actually get the person interested or more interested in your service. Because I'm vexing, if you're at the point where you're sending a proposal, they've already contacted you for a reason, right? They've seen your services, they want to learn more. So here's how you can do that. So instead of having these really long drawn out welcome and introduction with just focus on your business, try to flip it to focus on the client and their needs. So instead of something like, I'm Jody Ann, I've been in business for 20 years, I plan weddings for blah, 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 and the list goes on, which is really just like a historical lesson, not what the client is looking for, you would give something instead that goes like this. Hi, I'm Jody Ann Rowe. I'm the founder of ABC Event Planning, and we work with couples who are really not trying to make wedding planning feel like a second job. If you're at the position right now where wedding planning is taking over your life and you want someone to come in, take it over, and guarantee you a spectacular event at the end, we're the company for you. We work with over 200 brides in every given year, and these are the steps we follow. Something like that sounds very different. You still hear about my skills and expertise, but my focus is on what the client is actually struggling with. So if you can accomplish that, I promise you, your proposals are going to look very different, and they're going to read very different to the person who is reading it, because instead of just reading and falling asleep because you've given them a history lesson, which, guys, let's be honest, that's what's happening. What's going to happen instead is they're going to read it and think, oh my God, this is exactly how I'm feeling. She gets it. Right? And that's where I want you to be. But let's jump into step number 2. So tip number 2 is that you need to go beyond the basics. I've seen it. There are so many people out there. Everybody have the same proposal. Well, not everybody, but I want to say this. Sometimes the basic stuff doesn't work. Yes, there's some standard stuff you put in your proposal, like you do a welcome and introduction, you list out your packages, you list out a couple of information about how they can work, you throw in some snapshots of some past events, and you're good to go. But sometimes you need to go beyond that. One of the things that allows you to stand out in a customer's mind is actually the fact that you're looking different, you're doing something different. That's one of the key ways to stand out. I'll usually say to my clients, Whatever your basic stuff looks like, always think about what you can add on top of that that's going to leave an impression. Because here's the thing, when people are shopping around and they're contacting vendor after vendor after vendor, one of the things that definitely makes a mark is the person that did something different that they like. And if you can be that person, I guarantee you will be top of mind. And when it comes to making a decision, instead of making it purely based on price or some other factor, they will remember, oh, you know what? I really like this lady because she said this or she included this, and they might come back to evaluate you. And that's where you want to be. So here's a good example of that. If you're somebody who, you send out the standard stuff, lovely, wonderful. How about looking about how you can customize certain areas? Let's say you speak to the client and they said to you, you know what? I am just obsessed with green right now. I'm just obsessed with outdoor living and whatever else, right? The pictures you include in your proposal, don't make that just your standard wedding photos. Go through your client photos and see which one best match what this client was talking about and give them that inspiration, right? The other thing that you can do is you can also create something. Give them a little mock-up, right? Give them something that they can really look at and be like, oh, that was different. Or here's another thing that you can do. You can include a piece that they didn't expect. You can include a sample of what it's like when you're working with you. One of my clients actually does this. She does a really good job. Here's what she does. So her clients, they have an online portal they go through and they book with her. Here's what she does. She actually gives a little clip showing the potential client what it looks like behind the scenes of actually working with her when you're a book client and what that looks like. So she gives them a little tour, she links the video, and they can see, okay, when I hire her, it's not just going to be an email exchange. This person has actually put some thought into how we're going to be working together, how I can have, tools and resources at my fingertips, and how I can still be involved in the planning process. So if you can do something like that, great, but definitely go beyond the basic stuff so that you can stand out. Tip number 3 is that you need to allow your customers to dream. Oh my word, wedding planners, this one is for you. So here's the thing. You're selling your wedding planning services. You're selling people on one of the biggest days of their life. This is one of the biggest events they'll ever have to plan in their lives. This is one of the most significant moments in their lives. I don't understand why you're not allowing people to read your content and dream. Let them be absorbed in it. They should just be reading it and thinking about their wedding day. And if your proposal isn't doing that, you're missing the mark. There are so many tools and tips you can use to do that. For example, one of my clients, Can Howden, she uses Canva mockups. Now she does a 3D program. And by the way, I'm linking all of these things below. She does a 3D mockup for her clients. Let me tell you, when I look at one of those mockups, I can envision myself in that space in that moment. And that right there is one of her key selling points with her potential clients. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, Jody, I don't want to go to all that work. But here's the thing. You can create these little dream moments. Let's say you do a 3D model and you can use them in your proposals over and over. It doesn't mean that you have to create that exact thing for the client, but you could create a couple so that you can have them on hand so a client can kind of see what your vision is like. Now, I know a bunch of you are going to jump in and say, yeah, but I don't want anybody to steal my ideas, right? But here's the thing. People can only steal the things that you have created. And believe me, that's the reason why Pinterest is there. You can always find ideas and inspiration on Pinterest. And unless you are planning an entire wedding in that proposal, there's no way that they can steal everything from you. And they can steal an idea, but they still need the execution. So can they take it to another planner? Sure. Will that planner be able to create your vision? Maybe, but there's no guarantee of it. So here's what I want you to do. Stop focusing so much on copying and competition and everything else and just focus on the client. That's your game changer right there, because trust me, when you start focusing on your client as opposed to all the noise around, you will definitely see a difference in your booking rate because you become so laser focused on their needs and what they're looking for, and you start hitting all those points, they have no other option but to hire you. Tip number 4, and this one, I feel like I still have to say it even though it's obvious, is that you need to let them know when they need to take action. Yes, you send them a proposal. Yes, they know they should respond. But here's the thing, you need to actually make it clear, right? Put in the proposal what the next steps are if they choose to move forward. Let them know certain dates and deadlines where this is no longer valid. People need that information because you know what it does? It creates a tab up here in their head so that they know, okay, I have to respond to her by April 15th or December 15th if I need to reserve this date. If I don't, there's an opportunity that somebody else, the planner for my date. You need to have these things there. Now, in terms of next steps, yes, they know they can respond, but lay it out for that. Okay, if you're interested, respond to this email, say yes, let us know you want to move forward. Here's what we're going to do. We'll send you over a contract. We'll send you over this and you can review it. We can meet. We can look at the terms. Let them know how it's going to actually proceed because that information is good to have. That information makes them know, okay, if I'm ready, here's what I need to do and how I need to go about it, right? Some people leave this up to chance and I don't understand why. They just make assumption that everybody will know what they need to do and everybody will know that when I send this, it's possible that the date might no longer be available, right? People don't actually store a lot of this information until you put certain things on it like a deadline. So ensure that you're doing that in your proposals. Now, I hope all those tips were helpful. Definitely let me know if you have questions, drop them below. I'm happy to talk about them. And if you're someone who's building your proposal and it's really not working, let me tell you, we have a template in the template shop, also linked down below that you can use. It is laid out with so many different options for you to include your content and just hit send because it's pre-designed and geared for conversion. Thanks so much for watching and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.